Too good to be true.
It is good. I think we've already been blocked. No. No. We're good.
Okay. Yeah, we scared.
What's happening, everybody? How you guys doing? I'm with my boys, Devin Isaac and Jerry Hedgie. That's them there, and that's them with me there as well. And we're having a little chit chat tonight, baby. Just a little. We just go have a little chit chat. That's a perfect song. Did you choose it? Very well done. Okay, so the trick's gonna be tonight how long we can run the show before hello Lazita, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Evening. How long we can.
If you don't get flagged, we're not trying hard.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry, it's called a microphone.
Yeah,
Put in
you
there.
gotta speak into the mic, Jerry.
Okay, there we go. Jerry's trying to be all inconspicuous, have the mic out of senior. Just put it in there. Just listen to the muso, bro. There, we're talking there. Pull in there, bro. You don't have to be such a gangster always, bro.
It's all an act, boss.
Life is but an act, bro, and this is our greatest stage. So, gents, thank you so much, bro. Shot for pulling in. How was your day? What you been doing? What did you do this morning, Devin? How did you wake up? Retune me.
No, I woke up very well this morning.
Clearly, that's working well for you so far.
A little bit cold.
Yes.
On the colder end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, spring chicken.
Lekker, bro. So, for those of you wondering, I haven't met Devin before tonight, so this is all thanks to Jerry. And this is what happens when you're in a bar on a Saturday and you're on your second grog down. You go, you got to meet my mate Devin, and we're gonna have everyone show. I'm like, Kev, let's do it. And then you wake up Tuesday, like, oh shit, it's today. That's what we're gonna do. But impromptu, bro. I love it.
Yeah,
So
thanks for having me, man.
awesome to meet you, bro.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 38.
38. Lighty, bro. What a lighty.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And
Chicken.
Jerry's 37. Don't ask me how I know that. I'm a bit of a stalker. Bit of a fan, a bit of a stalker. But yeah, spring chickens nonetheless, the two of you. And so yeah, man. So everyone, thank you so much. Before we even carry on, if you don't mind, I'm trying to launch the YouTube page just to get some more likes. So if you can get the second, even if you're watching this on Facebook, go through to YouTube and put one like and one subscribe there for please, man. I'm trying to build it. It's just under ARD Matthews. Jerry, how you been, bro? Welcome back from your crossing.
Yeah, long time, man.
Microphone, Kazi. You see, I said.
Long time, man.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the front stage for a while.
Yeah. You've
I've
been.
been backline offshore. Yeah,
You've
sending
been
it to Grenada. Proper.
I know, bro. I've been following. For those of you on following, follow Jerry. He lives quite an interesting life, and you just delivered a cat to Grenada. Summer, just why not?
Yeah, full carbon performance cat from Cape Town, stopped in St. Helena, and then beautiful Fernando de Noronha. And
Lekker.
then last stop Grenada was absolutely spectacular.
Did you go and check in on Tim?
I didn't. It was too
Chassis,
far around the
boss.
corner.
What do you mean, Clark's Bay and Prickly are next door
I
to
made
each
some
other?
calls and it was too far to navigate.
But you could make it to Grenada.
6,500 miles to get there, and it was literally 1.2 miles to your boat, and I didn't go. Apologies.
Thank you. No, it's okay, bro. Don't worry. I mean, it's easy to see you over here. I mean, that's a bit of a mission. So just a hello quickly to the people tuning in. Thank you. I'm not too sure who Bright Dark is, but we love you all the same. Sounds ominous. Sounds exactly how it should be tonight. So the point of this. Oh, my mic seems to be tweaking a bit louder. Give me a second. Jerry was like, so bro, you always do the guitar thing and then you get off stage and everyone's sitting there with their tail between their legs. He says, why don't you put some beats on some of your songs? And I was like, that's a good idea. This is the year and the time for collaboration, which I'm going to try and do. I'm not saying who or how it'll happen. And he said, oh no, mate, it's got decks. I was like, Kev, I've got electricity. Let's plug it in. So
Magic happens.
and here we are, bro. Here we are, the three husky queers. So I told Devin, I was like, dude, so that for those who know, and they know, we've been flagged a few times. Even just, I remember when Kurt Darren was on here, he was playing an old song just through his phone just to get reference for something he was doing, and the whole show got pulled because now all the algorithms are listening and AI's in control, and I'm not allowed to play 3 seconds of music without it being flagged. So if it does get flagged, we'll just reload and we'll just start again. So just hang tight and just to see how this unfolds. So I think what I want to find out from you, first of all, tell us about this event that you've been running. That sounds very interesting as well. And go
Yeah.
into detail, Ryuka Goy. Tune.
Okay, yeah. So myself and some mates of mine, we do an event at Ewall, aka Hectic on Hope in town. It's a little bit of a
Hectic.
dingy dive bar downstairs, but they got a pretty cool space upstairs. And we dress the place up nicely, bring in some sound and decor and some interesting DJ lineups, and it's just a place to come and party and let loose, eh?
Lekker.
And mainly to dance, you know. You can either be dancing on the dance floor, hanging out with your mates at the pool tables, but if you're on the dance floor, you're dancing.
You're basically in France.
Dancing in Francing. And so who all the homies that pull in and groove? Is it just a bunch of DJs who come and tune?
It's really a diverse bunch, and I think we've always put the party on just because it was the party that we wanted to attend and we couldn't find it in the city.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's young, old, black, white, everything in between, queer, straight, like there's no judgment. You come there because you want to have a good time and you're not going to give anybody any cuck, like, you know, because that's not the place to do it.
Yeah.
Nothing to be seen. You know, the dance floors are quite dark. There is some lighting, but, you know, you're there to
I dig it.
let loose, man.
I love it, bro. I think that's a cool concept. I think a lot of people look for that outlet, and the times are quite like a 9 to 4.
Yeah. It's called Movida, by the way.
Movida.
You can look us up on Instagram, Movida_Movida, Movida.
Movida_Movida. Okay, so good. Yeah, they had to name it twice.
Repetitions again.
And perhaps the Instagram handle was taken, but
There's always that as well, bro. So let's just cut to the chase. As I say, I haven't met you. We seem lekker. We just had a dinner and a beer. That's all you need to know that you're hanging with a homie. Jerry was saying earlier, what would you describe your, even now, sound? Or what kind of got you into it? Do you have a genre? I know you said you adapt, which is what we need to do as musicians. But what would you say your current flavor is that you're feeling?
I really like funk, disco and house. Like that's kind of, if you had to ask me what to play, or I can play whatever I want. I'm gonna start with funk, and like a funk band.
Right.
It's just really, I mean, if a funk band doesn't get you moving or wants you to get up off of your seat, then I don't know what will.
Then there's something wrong. Then the ickies are duds, bro.
Yeah. So I love funk bands. I love even rock and roll takes sometimes a little bit from funk in the guitar riffs and stuff.
Yeah.
So and then to move progressively to something that's faster and more encouraging.
To the 4 o'clock mark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Harder and faster the later it gets.
Contemplate the meaning of life.
Yeah, 4:35 outside going, where's the next door? Afters, where's afters? Aye. Oh, it brings back thrills because that memory is from so long ago. It's at least 3 weeks ago for me. Oh, yeah, so that's a Joel. And you were at Africa Burn this year?
I was, yes.
With your amazing welding technique, I heard.
No, it's very, very mediocre.
Bird shit.
Jerry would have a nightmare. Jerry can never go to Africa, bro. We look at all the mutant vehicles. Go, hey, bro, where's the fractal, bro? That's not done. I could be repacking all the mutant cars, bro.
I almost convinced him to come, and then he was like, "No, I got to climb on a boat." And
Have you been? Bro, carry on playing some underground music or some obscure music here. So we've never had a show with music.
Okay, here we go.
Some underground stuff, bro. Yeah, there we go. Just see what is it. So I'm gonna crank it a bit because the show we get every now and then we're just gonna sit quietly and bop our heads. And as soon as the comments disappear altogether, we know we've been cancelled.
I think for me, just lockdown, kind of stuck in front of the TV, didn't really connect to Netflix and movies and stuff, and just streaming audio and all sorts of stuff. It opened up my ears, like a full 3-4 weeks of just getting in touch with some EDM.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful experience.
Lekker. And was Devin helping you out with a couple of tunes? Oh no, lockdown. So you're having.
Yeah, you got friends sharing stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, you're stuck in the '90s playing grunge, pop, metal, new punk, and like.
Yeah.
And then your ears kind of open to a new genre, and I took a liking to electronic music in the last 2-3 years.
And you haven't been to Africa Burn yet?
I haven't.
What kind of say where you was? What you been doing, bro?
Work's been always.
Don't come here with work. Everyone works, man. Only professionals go to Africa Burn. How do you think they can afford to go there? Some of the wealthiest, I know some of the wealthiest people who I won't even name who were there this year. They're probably the wealthiest in the country.
They're the blessed few.
They all work. We all work, Jerry. Don't come here with your, I've got to varnish this thing and make something here, bro. Next year, can we have a commitment?
Yeah.
A loose one. Loose, low-key,
I'm there with you.
open-minded.
Designated dough.
Stop polishing your tools, dude.
Yeah.
My tools are polished and ready for the next job.
Can you imagine this like makes a mutant ninja turtle for the plier, bro? Yes, see, that'll be on fire.
Well, he did give to the cause by donating his very nice spray booth.
Oh yeah, at your house. Lekker. So
No, I contributed to Burn.
Yeah, indirectly.
how many burns have you been to there?
I've been going since 2011 for the
Okay.
first time, and pretty much every year, 1 or 2 years, I've taken a break.
Right,
But it's the playground, eh?
bro. It is. It's so special.
So, I mean, really, and it's also what you make of it. I mean, I've had some good years and some ones that really didn't float my boat. But,
Yeah.
it's more got to do with the kind of headspace I was in at the time. Like, you
Yeah.
know, so if you're in a good headspace and you want to have a good time, there's no better place
To go.
do, yeah.
Are there any other festivals that you have played at or go to that you dig, or like just historically through the years? Any ones that stand out for you?
Yeah, there's a few. I had some mates that do that put on Wolfkorp Weekender.
Okay, Richard and them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Richard
and
Marshall.
Bruno.
No, Bruno. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been to a few Wolf Corps.
Yeah,
I dig them.
quite enjoy the vibe there, and they usually have interesting lineups with different musicians. I played at the first 2 Bazik festivals.
Oh, sick with Nick and them. I mean,
with
okay,
Nick,
cool.
Actually, just went randomly camping, and Nick was there, and suddenly started chatting about how his funk/disco DJ had left him, dropped him, and then next thing I was booked.
You're like, pick me, coach, pick me up. I know a thing or two about funk, eh?
Yeah.
Lekker. Oh, yeah,
That was
Bazik.
pretty cool.
Did you go this year?
I didn't go this past year, no.
Yeah.
Mainly because I think I was outside of Cape Town at the time.
Right.
But it's definitely one I'd go check out. It's nice vibes, and they also take they try and bring a little bit of art, you know, and any kind of festival event that is also trying to promote art. I mean, that's why I got into Africa Burn to begin with, is because like it's just so much fun and so rewarding to make art, whether it's music or whether it's a sculpture,
Yeah.
or whether it's painting, or, you know, whatever gets, you know, whatever you're into.
Exactly, bro. It's such a free time, eh? It's,
Yeah.
I mean, you get such a... it's such a downer coming back to society after the burn. Eh? You're like, oh, everyone were there.
Reset.
Yeah, no wonder Oaks carry that thing on. You see, what do they call the decompression? You see the decompression drill for like 6 months afterwards. You're like, Oaks,
Yeah.
it's nearly time for the new burn. Yeah, you're gonna have to get to grips now with this new drill.
You know what they say, the week after you get back from the burn, don't quit your job, eh?
Yeah, bro,
Don't go hike up the Himalayas.
yeah. Bro, I've had friends who've gone to ER. When they come back, it's I remember my first time coming back, bro. The first week coming back, and I mean, I'd have no choice to quit my job. That's the only job I know.
Yeah.
So, but I remember going, "Phew,
So
what?"
the thought has crossed my mind a few times, and then the smart voice in the back of my head said,
Well
"Hey,
done.
Albert, just think about this for a second."
Well done, bro. And what do you do outside of DJ? We're gonna get into more music later, but
Yeah.
we're just having a lumber. What
No,
do you do?
I'm in manufacturing. I've got an engineering background, and I've always been in manufacturing. And at the moment, in tensile membrane structures.
Okay.
So yeah, that's working. at the moment.
What is a tensile membrane structure?
It's
Just-
a fancy-
Jerry, I told you there's a spout in that thing, bro.
I'm on it, bro.
Come on, cuz.
Almost quite fatigued.
Yes, bro, you nearly wet the decks.
Beer here,
I
but
know, cuz. That's why.
On that oak that rocks up, hey, can I get a song?
yeah. I'm gonna
request,
Jerry
Jerry,
request
request.
Jerry with the tea all over the laptops, everything. Hey, mamo. So tensile structure. What is
Yeah.
it? Is it like
Well,
a?
I think it's just a very fancy stretch then. That is also not a. That's not a temporary structure. It's permanent.
Okay,
So you
like a
take
bed
piece
one,
of-
but
Yeah, so you take a piece of fabric and you load it up and you put it under a lot of tension and it creates a roof structure. I think the best example locally would be Hartley Vale Stadium.
oh
If you
really?
look at the roof structure, they've got a membrane structure.
Okay.
One of probably the first structures like it in Cape Town.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Lekker, Jerry,
Yep.
what's your next mission? I know you're going to be busy always. Do you have any next sailing missions, bro?
I mean, I'm based locally, just carrying out a bunch of refit maintenance projects, and it's kind of like
You're
always
busy, bro.
different every day.
Busy.
It's
You're the
like
busiest
this
oak I know.
and this and that, and it always kind of drags out. The scope of work's always more than what's ever envisioned. Do have some like gigs overseas. Going to be flying out, commissioning a few vessels,
Yeah.
and yeah, life's good.
Lekker, bro. So for those of you who don't know, Jerry lost his father recently. So just our condolences on air, bro. And I know that, with all respects, as you know, and I know that you were mentioning, if it's cool, and don't answer if you don't want to, but you were saying how the first part of your mission to St. Helena, you had quite a cool little spiritual journey just in order to have some relief and kind of closure with him being on the trip. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think in losing someone, it kind of changes your whole perspective on life and like reality, what's really important. Any hurt and whatever you felt before in your life is actually just all superfluous. And then
Yeah.
your whole entire entity and equilibrium shifts to the loved one that you just lost.
Yeah.
And I was blessed and fortunate to have ventured across the Atlantic and make my way to the Caribbean. And the first part of the journey was resailing the same voyage I did with my dad 20 years ago.
Wow, bro. Tell us a bit about your dad, bro.
My old man, proper OG, Royal Dutch Navy, proper rigger,
Yeah.
and like a thoroughbred, like hard Dutchman diver. So I had like this beautiful upbringing, and I got like all the tools and skills
Yeah.
taught to me, by, like with your hands, you know. And I was always having to better him. Everything
Yeah.
I did wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
You like to build up resentment against your pops, and then later you appreciate everything he was hard on you about, you know.
Amazing, eh? It's an amazing thing. So you guys did that St. Helena. Sorry, I jumped straight into your
Yeah.
story. You were talking. You guys have done the St. Helena thing.
Yeah, so 20 years we did Cape to St. Helena race together, double-handed. And yeah, it was, I mean, kind of fragmented back then, trying to remember everything.
What, 20 years ago?
20 years ago.
And the two of you did it.
The two of us did it. We
Jeez,
sailed
like-
there and back.
Yo.
How did you do in the race?
We finished third.
Not bad, eh?
Like, I was a 17-year-old lighty. And then, yeah, just, I mean, redoing this trip, gearing up, like, dealing with, like, his whole memorial service, and you kind of disconnected from everything, running around the rat race, not really in touch with your emotions, and then sitting on a boat collectively dealing now and having to process what actually happened, and then actually just wake up in the morning, deal with, like, an emotional period, cry, and then, like, work this whole 8 days to St. Helena, and I was just so fortunate. And then gaze into the yonder and just accept, you know, I mean, then you kind of start facing your own mortality. Sorry, that's pretty morbid.
No, go, bro. This is the platform for that, bro.
It's,
I'm
you
just
know,
worried.
it's
Some
like-
oaks are saying they can't hear the guests too well. It's very loud in the cans. Will you guys just confirm with a comment here? But it's, to me, it's sounding good.
Yeah, sounds
And I
good.
think, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had 2.5 months to, like, sit with my own thoughts and then process them, play music, and actually hear music from another level, because I'm actually present, listening to it and understanding, like, another facet to music itself, and
Yeah.
hearing other beats, and then things that I was so guilt ridden with, I kind of let go and work through.
Yeah.
It's not my fault, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's that famous Caribbean saying.
Mm-hmm.
But after St. Helena, retracing my steps, walking on the island, I actually managed to do some awesome hikes around the place and do some trail runs,
Kif.
and then left the island, and it's almost like this massive burden just like fell off my shoulders.
Wow, that's cool, bro.
And it's almost like he's living through me, and I got to then experience what he was doing
That's amazing.
40 years ago.
So, dude, how fortunate. I mean, it wasn't a planned trip that you had, but how awesome that you were able to kind of come to terms so early, so recent after his passing by doing a trip like that. So that, it's amazing how life works out. You never know when you're going to be given that opportunity to have that moment and that clarity, bro.
We're all running around trying to find meaning or reason to our own existence. I mean, just that passage, you're able to sit with yourself and then accept who you are.
Yeah.
Look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And stop getting so philosophical.
Never stop. Never stop getting philosophical, bro.
Deeper meanings to other things.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, cool, bro. Thanks for sharing, bro. And that's just what it is. So you got some deliveries. You're gonna go and step on boats. And I mean, if I ever own a boat again, I'll never invite Jerry to walk onto it, because this oak walks off here with one of those old manuscripts of snag lists before he's even gotten onto your boat. He's like, that thing's wrong. Whoever put that on screwed the wrong way. This thing's wrong. The front is the wrong place. Front should be in the back. Okay, let's get back to you, Devin. So when did you? Last question, then I want you to start lining some stuff up here. When would you say you started just getting into just enjoying DJing?
Well, I used to play an instrument, and played in an ensemble in high school. I played a flute.
Oh shit! Hold on, I just realized why the audio might be bad. Oh no! If this is true, then it's been a disaster.
This entire time.
Oh no, yeah. This will be better. 1, 2. All right. Sorry, it's back. Anyway, it is what it is. They would have heard some of it, but it was all going through the MacBook mic. The whole thing.
Oh,
So-
shit.
Did anyone hear anything?
Yeah, sort of. They said, can't really hear the guest that well. I was like, I'm checking buttons.
Oh,
here.
and you in front of the laptop as well. Yeah.
Exactly, that's why old loudmouth Labaskachnia. Sorry, guys. Let us know if that's better. That should be. No wonder. Hey, friend, we're just hanging out, friend. We're just hanging out. Okay, that should be back to the mix. Now you can tell me again. When did you get into DJing? Where you can start?
Yeah.
again?
So I used to play an instrument when I was in high school, and then
What instrument?
a flute.
Okay.
Flute. Yeah. So like that silver flute, not the recorder.
You weren't playing a trumpet, eh?
No, not a trumpet. And then I stopped playing when I got to university because that was more of a focus. I sold my instrument, and then after university, I kind of felt a little bit empty because for every single day of high school, morning was band practice for an hour, and in the afternoon was individual practice for an hour. So you just kind of have music in your life all of the time, and then also I'd been going to quite a few parties and been quite disappointed in what I was hearing.
Right.
And then my brother and I invested a bit of money in a controller, and we just started messing around and sort of mixing and playing the music that we wanted to hear.
How old were you then?
I was maybe about mid-20s, late 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd been a couple of years since I'd like left music completely and not really picked up an instrument or anything, but still felt like I wanted to do something musically.
Yeah.
And it didn't involve me having to learn an instrument from scratch or
Right.
over. Well, the controller is an instrument
It is, bro.
in a
It's
way.
daunting for me, bro.
But I mean, I used to actually control when I was a kid. I was really bored at the church that I attended, and I'm not really religious.
Yeah.
So as a kid, they put me on the mixing desk, when everyone was singing and like performing music. And so what I did was I sat on a mixing desk and I just controlled mics and all of the things that I learned back then about how to plug everything in and how
cool.
to control everything. Sort of then when you get to control, it's kind of natural. You kind of know what each button does and what each knob does.
Yeah.
So
A lot of good sound engineers learned from church.
Yeah. They didn't take anything from the church.
Yeah.
They took the mixing
They took their
equipment.
time
yeah.
doing praise and worship to figure out what the knoppies mean. Bro.
They wanted to try and stop me running around outside of the church while the church was happy. So they said, okay, cool, let's give him something to do.
Quality.
Have you got any tunes that you wanna wanna
I'll
go?
jam
I
one.
wonder if we should stop and start the show. So we got a fresh one with the audio because it was quite bad. What do you guys send in the comment? Should we do that? Because we had decent listeners, but
And they all faded out.
it did drop a little bit.
It's okay.
Gooi, bro.
We were going to wig it anyway.
Exactly. Okay, I like your attitude, bro. You're perfect. Okay, so what we
Doesn't
got-
have to be perfect.
No, bro. Life is not, bro. Okay, so talk me through this, bro.
Yeah, this is kind of the music that we kind of play at Movida. It's kind of like housey, but a little bit of soul in it as well. And it just gets the head bobbing, I hope.
I really hope that's going through the system. Now I've got doubts about everything. Can you guys...
It's coming through the headphones.
I know, so it should be. The mics are going through there. Can you guys hear the music? Give us a thumbs up here. Thank you, BT, for confirming the sound, but let us know. No, that seems low. Shut! I buggered the tech up on this one. What an idiot. You think I'm a muso, eh? Just one knoppy there. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's
You
all
guys must be
good.
wondering what I was saying. When I'm going to play some fresh music. Imagine when the thing started, we bopped it like this to nothing. Oh.
We can blame load shedding.
Yeah, it's load shedding. It messed all my bloody settings up. Idiot. Sorry, Oh, bro, I could see this. 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Jerry, show us your tweak dude. Show us your fractal
My
dance.
disappearing act.
This is Kev, bro.
Yeah, it's actually someone singing on a mic, and there's a little bit of guitar in there, but there's still a beat.
So I wonder how we would how would you recommend that I incorporate this into something that I do? And just let me know in the comments if that's something you think I should do. I know Jerry kind of sparked the idea, and it would definitely be something cool. But like, do you take the whole song, and then you as a DJ somehow filter out the lows and only get the vocal in the mids, or must I give you steps, or must whoever's going to do the collab, not you per se?
Yeah.
I'm just saying what would
No,
be the
like
best?
I mean, look, I mean, you can be as creative and as adventurous as you want to be, really. But I think technology has progressed so much in the last 10 years where you can really manipulate sound in really interesting ways. And however, I think, you know, it does get a little bit cold and unemotional having music just produced by machines,
Yeah.
call it as such. So I think that you can always have sort of a happy mix between some sort of real human aspect, like i.e. music that you've already created and produced, and then just play around with it. And you know, again, I think one of the things about DJing is that you have to find a balance between playing music that people recognize and
Yeah.
that can sort of tap into, and like, you know, that that inspires them because or brings some sort of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And say with the popularity of the music that you've produced, you have that aspect, and you can just put a fresh twist on it in getting something that is also upbeat and that can be played in a completely different setting outside of the sort of live intimate setting. And I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I totally dig the live intimate setting, and it has its place. But also, you know, a lot of people, I think, where we are, we're going through some pretty crazy times, and music will always be something that allows people to let go a little bit and dance and, you know, just feel a little bit free, and adding, say, some kind of aspect that encourages that aspect.
Yeah, that's like relation and sense of escape as well, you know. So
Yeah,
music's always
exactly.
been able to do that, you know.
100%, and I think people are always going to be also keen to, first of all, appreciate music maybe earlier on in a night, and then when it gets to like 10, 11 o'clock and, you know, there's a couple of beers down, you know, they want to let
Art
loose.
Matthews must put that guitar down now, but it's time to bop.
I mean, there's that classic 1989 song released by The Cure,
Yeah,
and the famous Bosnian German DJ Solomon reworked that track into something that's like commercially now like a proper house tune.
Yeah.
Like people playing, broadcasting everywhere.
yeah.
So you can take something that's like really old, listen to it. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4 already in it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
put
yeah.
in like a deeper bass line, like mix the vocal up a little bit, and then you can make
speed
a
it up,
song
slow
that you
down.
already know.
You can do all that on you, eh?
You can do all of that. I mean, if you turn up this track, right, you can slow it right down or
right, of course.
speed it.
Yeah.
Speed it right up much faster than it is. It does change the key slightly, so
Yeah,
it changes.
it's got a bit of a wobble.
Yeah, it's got a. So it's something that you got to consider about like where you want to be in the range.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean it's got like a high pass filter that takes out all the lows, or
Right,
low
right.
pass filter that takes out all the highs.
Right,
You know, and you got that at your fingertips, so you know you can really play around with it.
And then so beat matching into the next song,
Yeah.
would you automatically know, does the song that's coming up, you know what tempo it's going to be, or do you have to, or are you kind of mixing it on the fly?
Well, like say for this controller that I've got here, it gives you a display, right? It shows you what speed it's moving at, right?
Right.
So I've just brought in another track now because that one ended.
Yeah.
But this is at like 122 beats a minute. It's a little bit low, this track itself, but it'll also get louder later on.
Okay, cool.
Just starts off soft. So with the controller, you've got a visual interface that shows you what's going on with the music. Whereas like a record and turntable setup, you don't have the visual. You only got to use your ear.
Yeah.
And also with CDJs, the modern CDJs have got a waveform display
On the
which is on the unit itself, which shows you what's going on. But it actually is a little bit of a distraction when you DJing. So because like I always try and tell up and coming DJs, like your head can't be here in your gear. It's got to be looking out at the people that you are connecting with, and you have to connect with those people if you're gonna do a good job of being a DJ.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if
You
I look at
can't
the big
just be
DJs,
like,
the big DJs like Fisher and those oaks, I mean, they don't have the waveform displays on their thing there, bro. There's just decks there, and I don't know. Is it a full set list from beginning to end with them, or are they? I mean, are all of them mixing? Like, how diverse is the kind of show of it? Like, do some oaks just press play, or do most of the good oaks mix track into track, all the good ones?
A lot of the kind of like say stadium size performances are all kind of pre-recorded and just like you just got some dude standing there waving his hands like
Fisher,
wearing them off.
and
I love Fisher. Yes, he's so cute.
and
Has
I
he
mean
tuned
it's,
in?
You couldn't hear the guests. They locked up.
Fisher, you got no game, mate.
Love him.
so I mean there's an amazing vibe in that stadium, but I mean in reality the guy is not really doing much, and maybe he's doing a lot in the studio and he's producing and whatever. But the guys that I've seen that are really, really talented with DJ equipment are in an underground club that you've never heard of, and they bang tunes out every night, and they are a little bit weird actually as people, and they're not but they're just not interested in the attention. They're interested in their music, and so a lot of the time DJs become big have big names and are very popular, but in terms of DJ skills, they're not really any better than I am. I mean, I don't consider myself to be an exceptional DJ at all, because being a good DJ is about having depth in your music knowledge and like a very big, deep library that can tap into any crowd and any taste of music.
So how many times have you lost your hard drive or your laptops without it being backed in the cloud?
Oh, dude.
So I don't want to go there.
I now have different parts of my library on 4 different PCs and like floating around in different stages. So, I'll never lose it all completely.
Again.
But
it's funny. I mean, I'm just assuming, but each time you've built up a new catalog, which may or have you lost some bangers?
I have, but also at the same time, part of being a DJ is that the amount of time you spend behind the decks at a club is like 1% of the time. The other 99% is like digging for music and getting your hands on it and listening and saying, I like this, I don't like this. So I'm always getting more new stuff. So most of the stuff that I'm playing is stuff that I've downloaded or I've bought in like the last year, and then that would be like say 70% of it, and then there's 30% that just like that is just like gonna be timeless.
It's bread and butter.
You just can't go wrong with those tracks.
Like that Casey and the Sunshine Band, you gooi those things in, especially if folks me like popping hard. Then just the relief of that tune with all the old school instruments, even if the recording's cuck,
even if the recording's cuck. And I mean, you also get a lot of DJs nowadays that are all about, it's got to be this file format, AIFF or whatever. And I always tell them, listen, first make sure that what you're playing is good music, man, and then you can worry about the file format and all of that.
Even if it's from your Spotify playlist.
Even if it's from your Spotify playlist.
Where do you go to find most of your music? Beatport, the SoundCloud. What do you troll a lot?
Mostly like obscure like DJ exchange torrent platforms, right? But that's really just to find a file that is playable on a loud amplified sound system. So you have to have a little bit of density for it. Otherwise it can sound pretty like tinny and bad. So, you need to find like at least like a 320 kilobyte per second MP3.
Of course.
In most cases. And of course also the recording of that track is going to also influence how it sounds. But to find music, everywhere and anywhere, like from Spotify to YouTube to the radio, internet radio, SoundCloud, all of it. Like, I mean, if you're really digging, you're digging everywhere. Record stores, you name it.
Are you a vinyl fan? Have you got some vinyls at home?
I have not really got an extensive vinyl collection because I just haven't had a place to store it. But now I'm about to move into a house that I'll have storage space. I'm very keen. Well, the first thing I have to do is buy a turntable.
That'll help.
But yes, I'm very keen to start a collection. And I mean, it's also, vinyl, when you put, just the very practicality of it, when you put it on, you hook the needle and you let the side play. So you don't want to buy something that you want to go like get up and move the needle, because I don't like that track. If you're going to buy something on vinyl, you're going to want it to play and
from top to bottom,
and you're going to turn it over again and play it again because you like it so much. And I think that's the attraction with vinyl, and that vinyl DJs have got sort of held in high regard. But I think it's more got to do with that whole thing of when you go and buy a vinyl, it's because you really, really, really love the music. And that you can just put it on and let it play, and it's gonna make you happy.
until it goes.
Okay, I gotta go turn it around.
Jerry, so
You
you.
know the tune there, boss.
Yeah. There's quite one background music there.
Okay.
Jerry,
I'm
you're
listening dubstep.
you're not afraid of recording a song on radio on a cassette, bro?
Yeah, so I like in my late primary school days, I came across a song called "I Like You Madly, All the Same." I pressed record on this thing, a cassette player, recorded off 5FM. And then I think 20 years later, bumped into Art. Someone said they need a drilling machine, and I'm standing on the deck of Tim, and like I'm enthralled. Like this is Art Matthews.
He's a lot fatter and shorter than I remember him.
Call him a cunt. But it's quality. I mean, like life comes full circle, and
It does.
Yeah, for me, I mean, just sitting with Art on Saturday, and just sparked the idea. He's got like such a beautiful selection of music, and there's a way just to rework that, putting in a beat, little hi-hat here and there, and then just bringing in moments of the classic tracks that Art and everyone knows,
Yeah.
and then just keeping the 30-year-old subculture around for a bit longer.
Hey, what are you saying about my demographic?
We're talking about your groupies, bro. No, but I think there's a lot of pressure on Art at a show where he's like 13, 14 tracks to play. He's put a lot of energy and effort in, and if you can just leave like something playing afterwards just to keep the crowd all ambient and keep them dancing, and that's kind of the thing that sparked this conversation.
Well, we need to figure it out now.
And Dev's pretty good at mixing a few tracks, and he's not a 1 second DJ.
There we go. So, Kaz, can I ask you, put you a little bit on the spot? Could you maybe talk me through a couple of different genres that you have available that you think we can play legally? Like different from like the Detroit house thing is interesting for me, and then just give us a couple of ideas. You don't have to mix them or anything. We can start top to bottom, but like say like in particular, this is a particular style, because my knowledge of electro is not great. So
okay. So this track is by a producer called Moomin. This is one of my favorites actually. And this would be sort of defined as like deep house. So what is that? Like why do you call it that?
Well,
right?
that's the question. That's what I'm asking you.
So you've got like
what's your head, Jerry?
You've got like a drum beat, which is the doof doof that you hear in the background. But there's also some keyboards in the keyboard, some melodies. There's like a piano melody. So I always like music with at least one real instrument.
Or melody, bro. Melody is king.
If the melody is coming from an actual instrument, whether it's like an actual piano or even a guitar or something, it just adds a certain warmth, to a track. So this would sort of be deep house, because I mean it is kind of a little bit dreamy and floaty, but it's still got a sort of a beat that you can dance to.
Cool. Let's crank deep. So this is a bit of deep house. I'm going to give you a bit more level. And this artist?
It's called it's Moomin, and the track is actually called Untitled.
Okay. Untitled.
Yeah.
There must be so many of those on a DJ's playlist.
But I mean, this is some dude jamming around in the studio with his keyboard, and it sounds amazing, man. I mean, this is actually in a folder of mine called Daytime. So
where are you, Jerry? We got nothing else. Can you not hear you can hear the tunes in the speaker there?
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, buddy. We don't have a three-way.
Three-way split,
That's three-way, brother. Sorry, Gerald.
I wanted to look like a producer.
You can put them on.
I'm just here for commission.
No one will know you're not listening to anything.
I can't hear out my right ear.
Okay, lacquer. So you'd say this is like deep, dreamy house kind of draw.
Yeah, I mean, so the folder that I keep it in is called Daytime.
Yeah.
Because, if you're somewhere out, in a grassy field and, chilling with some mates, you're in a mood to party, but it's a little bit too early to go hard.
To go hard, yeah.
So I mean,
Okay,
that's,
talk us through it, bro. Talk us through it.
yeah. So okay, cool. I'm gonna play a disco track because disco is another genre that I really enjoy.
Who doesn't like disco, bro?
Yeah.
Shout
I
out
mean,
to Vape Nation.
you get some pretty cheesy disco, but I mean you also get good disco. I mean disco that makes you wanna really dance. Okay, let me find the track.
We have to represent Omar S here tonight.
Of course we can.
People don't know.
People don't know.
No one will know.
Yeah. I don't want to get us into trouble, so I gotta find something that's a little bit obscure.
Yeah, just try. Well, we can't mess the show up anymore with our technical stuff. Oh, I can't believe I did that. What a rookie mistake.
Okay, let's go with this. Okay, so I'll actually just like mix this track in, even though the speed is not like
Not matched.
yeah. Actually, I can't do that. See, now I'm speeding it up, so
You're right. But this is disco, bro. This is
this
sick.
is disco.
It's a Sunday morning.
Yo.
Sunday club. Life's good with music in it, man.
It is,
Yeah.
bro. It is.
And I mean, we forget that DJing really took off. You know, Studio 54, New York City, the 70s. You
Yeah.
know, that's when even sort of being a DJ became a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was to this kind of music. You can't like forget like or
Of course.
you know,
disco
like,
was the original
it was
house.
exactly house was kind of spawned from disco, and
Yeah.
also the club scene that disco created, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, so this is called New York's Moving. Yeah.
Crank it. Let's crank it for a bit. Now we can actually bump the heads like we got meaning.
There's a lot of soul and funk in this shit, man.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Quality.
Can you hear a little bit there, Jerry, through the speaker at least?
Oh, my left here. And you guys have got the surround sound going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dev's definitely opened my ears to like a lot in the last 2 months. It's probably
But it's always good to have a DJ friend, especially who's as cool as Dev, just to help. We're gonna do this again as well, bro, because I need to learn so much about this stuff. I dig it, bro.
No, I'm excited to hear some of you rework one of your classics, man.
Okay, cool. I'll challenge accepted. I'll definitely do that. I think
I want
definitely get
royalties,
some.
Sony.
Yeah. Whitelist, bro. Whitelist. Very good. Okay, hit us through another one there, bro.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna take us more onto something that is like more funk. Let's see.
Could you think of a song? Right?
Could I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If
surely
you had to pick one of your tunes.
you must be able to do a Shallow Waters or even a Father and Father or something like that, or a Like You Madly.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a Peace, Love, More Tolerance with a groove like this. You know,
Peace,
just try.
love,
Yeah.
more
Tolerance. Oh. Sure. Something like that, you know.
Peace, love, and less tolerance. No, that'd be exciting, man.
Yeah. Well, if there's any oaks listening to this who feel like we're up for the challenge to do one times collab, tune me. Okay, what you got here? What you got there?
This is a very obscure Marvin Gaye track called T Plays It Cool, but it's very funky.
Cool.
Also sort of produced with kind of like very early synthesizers, you know.
Yeah.
Proper.
And I mean, also all of these sounds are typically now like sounds that house music producers incorporate. It's really the same sounds, just, you know, put in a different arrangement.
Yeah. But this has got a live kit element to it as well, which I think.
It's actually drum kit, like a real drum kit.
Proper
like,
kit.
Yeah.
There's your old instrument, bro. The sax flute.
But I mean, it's like, it's so cool to have, like, it's not the whole song that the sax is playing. It's just like, it's got a little cameo.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that would be the trick, you know, especially being such a lyric driven and verse after verse and then a song and a story.
Yeah.
I think that would be lost if I did it. We take like the catchphrases from the songs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gooi that on loop and mainly it's the groove. It's mainly the groove. The groove speaks everything.
yeah.
Groove and a bit of melody and maybe some old, as you say, some old stuff just to, you know, just to harren you of the 90s.
Completely.
You start your gig off, and this is like you got a little mix playing, and you come on, play 4 or 5 songs, you get off and go have a tequila, you come back on again and jam another 5, and then kind of this thing keeps the ambiance.
Keeps the groove going. No, Jerry, I'm feeling
Groove
it, bro.
Armada.
I'm feeling it, bro. Feeling it properly. Okay, I'm gonna get back into no. Take us through another genre.
Okay.
What you got loaded?
Cool. So this is more like it's funky, but it's pretty mellow. So now I'm gonna play like it's an actual funk band, right? It's like a proper funk band, called the Meters, like, and it's called It Ain't No Use.
Let's do it. Who's the singer?
The Meters is a funk band, yeah.
Ain't no use to cut you loose. I guess I'm here to stay. I could think
They knew what they were doing back
of a
then.
thousand reasons for me to
When it's
leave.
timeless, it comes back now and it just rings true.
But I know if I ever walked out that
Make a nice
door,
meal at home.
I wouldn't
Just chill,
know
bro.
Just
what
chill,
to
man.
do. Ain't no use.
Have you ever done that in your life before, Jay?
I have a few times with you.
I wouldn't last a day.
Chilled or made food or
We
not?
spoke a lot.
Ain't no use.
Mostly not sense, but tonight is making a little.
Guess
This is, bro.
I'm
This
here to
is.
stay. You got me where
Yeah, bro, I love that drum sound.
I'm shackled
And the bass
to
guitar
your
is
love.
tight.
Oh yeah, no, filthy.
Set me free, set me free, set me free, set me free, set me free now.
James Milbro. Tuning in there, tuning in. It's sick, bro.
Hey James,
James, what you know about soul, bro? There's like so many classic reworks, and then like London Grammar, Hey Now, and then
yeah.
they put in some like amazing.
Ah, bro, so remixes are the way forward.
Like, it's not to take away from the music genre at all. I mean, it's just to uplift it in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just amplify.
Exactly.
The audience.
Set me free,
You still have that
set me free,
classic
set
loving
me
feel
free,
for
sure.
set me
Yeah, just a
free,
whole other
set me
audience, bro.
free
Yeah.
now.
It's top spot.
And after 11 p.m.
You
crowd.
got me where
They're after 4
you
p.m.
want
4 a.m. crowd.
I'm shackled to
In the pool.
your love.
After 4 a.m.
Lost my shit, lost my shit. Scrambled back, composed.
Yeah. Anchor watch.
Life short, mate. Have fun. Send it.
There's a sick brew.
Devin knows, bro.
The other thing about this track is they don't make them like they used to because it's 11 minutes and 51 seconds long.
yeah. That's not legal anymore.
Yeah. Because there's also like probably a whole 6 minutes of each of the musicians in the band just jamming a solo.
Everyone's
for
got to
like-
get their turn, but it's a 12-piece band. Exactly, bro.
I think
So-
you'll easily make it as a DJ in the Caribbean. 20 seconds per track and a vuvuzela between. There's proper quality.
So I've got a story. A story about the vuvuzela. So when we did the crossing on Tim, someone recommended it. Could have been you. I'm not too sure. But someone said the best way to pee overboard without falling off is you just
in
get
your
it.
pants.
And first of all, that's if you even want to go above deck. But get a vuvuzela and gooi over the side, and at least you can have some kind of aim and a little bit more length than we'd like to believe.
Was that a lady?
So we're not,
Did a lady mention that?
we're
to
not
you?
peeing inside the boat. We're peeing mainly outside the boat. So we did that the whole crossing, 7 oaks, and then 4 oaks, and just that we had 2 South African flag vuvuzelas just going out the side of the boat. It was kiff.
And
So
when you got ashore, did you add the vuvuzela?
No, we didn't. Here's the story. So we get to St. Helena. We get to St. Helena. You know, we're friendly guys. We invite people over for dinner. We've made friends. And this I hope they're not listening. And I'm so sorry. We had sailed a long time. We didn't know. So we invite this couple over for dinner. I think Michael, being the kind soul that he is, he cooked some dinner on board, and the chick gets on board. She goes, "Oh, vuvuzela." She goes, "Boop, boop, boop." We're like, "Oh, no!" Wait, just see if you can hear it. No! And we're like, "Yeah, don't do that." And then also when we got to Grenada, this young lighty was also like paddled up to the boat, and he was operating all the boats, and Ethan and I inside just operating sound, and I said, "Bop, bop, 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 bop." I'm like, "No, another one." And he goes, "Hey, how's that? I saw you vuvuzela." I was like, "Not for that purpose." Anyway,
I mean, you put it in the small end or the large end?
Hey, Jerry. Enough about how we met, boss. Oh, yeah. Okay, back to the music when Jerry starts fractaling. Okay, this is very cute, bro. Feeling it. But this is funk.
This is a proper
it's
funk
essentially
band.
funk, yeah.
Yeah, it's a funk band. Like, but I mean, what I was trying to show is like you can get funk in a slow, easy form, and you
Yeah.
can get a proper funk band that, you know, these guys are jamming it out here, like
Right.
proper.
No, bro, this is proper.
Yeah.
We could play this on loop all night as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. I love this stuff.
No, I
Where's
do
Jeremy?
as well,
Just
yeah.
dim the lights, Andrew.
Where's Jeremy? It's bright in here, man.
As the music continues, bro. Oh, bass is
Yeah,
smoking.
He's tight. Yeah.
It is super bright in your art. I won't lie. I'm not wearing glasses.
Jerry,
for
put
any
your
other
glasses
reason.
on, man. Just calm down.
You take selfies in this halo.
No. I'm out of selfie mode, bro. That's no longer a product of mine. Okay, what else you got? Come.
Okay.
But
Cool.
there's no hurry. I can
No,
listen to this.
no.
alone.
So now I want to change it up like completely and play. This is a remix that was done by Tamasumo, which is a DJ that is played at Movida and Prosumer, the Berlin crew. The track is called William, and the artist is Van Kimby.
Okay,
So, but like this is like more tech house on the side of techno, so really gonna change it up here. a
Gooi,
little bit,
gooi,
okay?
gooi, bro.
So you'd hear this in, you know, in the club in Berlin, maybe, you know.
The blue room.
But it, you know, it still bangs.
I think a lot of people just get lost in that like heavy bass line.
Yeah.
But if you just listen past that, there's actually like a profound amount of skill and effort put into
Oh,
creating
yeah.
a track like
No,
this.
bro, I'm all over electro stuff, bro.
It's so cool you can play for a multiverse of genres.
Yeah, so that's what I've like I mean like Arts asked me is like take me through the different
Yeah.
genres, and
Yeah,
I mean
yeah.
being also like you know, if you a skilled DJ, you can, I mean, sort of the tracks that I've played here tonight, I mean, I've started a night playing funk band bangers like and ended the night playing this, and you need to be able to
Know when to do the switch.
know when to do the switch
Yeah.
and know what the crowd is feeling and what people are into, and if people are really enjoying the funk, then just play some more funk then, you know. Even
funk's
maybe
sakes.
yeah, for funk's sakes, man, play the funk. But I mean, sometimes, you know, DJs just get caught up in their own shit, and they're like,
Yeah.
you know, they'll play because this is a good tune.
Yeah, you must
and-
listen to my song now, or,
Yeah.
or my playlist, and they don't really read
Yeah.
the room, bro.
No, you just gotta kind of see when they've taken about 5 shots of tequila at the bar.
Exactly, bro. As soon as the barman gives you the signal, bro, you're like, drop it, drop it.
Yeah, so there's always a difficult point of playing, also sort of educating people with new music and new sounds, but also there's always going to be some aspect of playing music that people recognize and that, you know, can connect with and that have already connected with. I mean, if you really want to pull an audience, if you go and play, I don't know, music in Brazil, right, and you don't play
Brazil.
one track from, I don't know, Brazil
baby.
somewhere,
All of them.
I'm just using it as an example.
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna lose that crowd. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to. If you go to London and you don't play something that's hot in London at the moment, doesn't mean you have to play that all night. But just play something that the crowd can be like, hey, okay, cool. I know this. It makes me feel comfortable. I even know how to dance to it because I danced to it in my mirror at home,
So
the night before.
how much do you do kind of different research for every gig based on what you think the crowd might be or what they've told you, like summing up the event? Do you then do a lot of prep and just have a bunch of what you feel you roll into, or do you have a kind of standard playlist that should roll out to pretty much most people?
No, I do a lot of prep, and I think you have to. I mean, if you're not doing that, and I don't think you're really doing a proper job of it, right? And there will always be some tracks that I would pull from my library that I know, okay, cool, that'll work. But you always trying to progress and get stuff that is really gonna be in tune with that space, and also you don't have like a set lineup. I mean, as I don't have a set lineup as I'm not going to say, I'm going to play this track and then I'm going to play that track. I have a basket of tracks which I usually split up during the duration of the set. So early on in the set, there's a basket of tracks, and then I want to move into a space that's maybe a little bit more energetic and maybe a bit faster. And then I want to progress even further than that. But maybe I don't. Maybe I stay there. And there needs to be enough
and
music.
you have enough depth for it. Because if you see the Oaks are drawing on a certain groove, then you got to have enough, because that might be your night. That might be most of the night.
Precisely.
If someone's flowing to that car ball and you play another track with the car ball,
Gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Yeah. And if people aren't dancing or having a good time, play something different,
Right.
The Swiss know about something or two.
Yeah. They knew when the cows were coming home, bro. Gotta have more cowbell, baby.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Exactly. That could be, well, I mean, but that also takes years. You've done lots of shows. I'm sure you've done a show or two where you also didn't have the right configuration like I had tonight. Having the wrong
100%.
tracking
Too
going
many
through.
times. Too
No.
many times.
Exactly, bro. But fortunately, from what I can see, you also do it because you love it. It's not your entire being. As much as it is your time, but it's not your whole vocation. It's just a genuine.
100%.
It's a genuine passion. So
And I was actually doing trying to let it become more serious, as in like we make a living out of it at one stage, but there's a lot of compromises you need to make and play gigs for people that you don't like, for crowds that you're not into, and I enjoy it too much and I want to do what I want to do. So I mean, find me on a Friday night or even on a Tuesday night. I'm at home jamming,
glass of wine.
really? So do you set the stuff up when you go home?
Yeah, it's set
It's
up
already
permanently
set up.
in my house, and also like any instrument, you have to practice it. And if you don't practice it, you're gonna sound horrible when you do get on stage and you try and perform. So
No,
if you don't
I'll
practice,
secretively like SoundCloud what he's playing, and then I'll try to be cool,
Can you do a bit of mixing, Jerry? Have you tried?
bro, I can mix epoxy resin.
This we know. This we know all too well, bro. Lekker,
No,
man.
I've got a few playlists of my own that I enjoy, and I think just meeting people and music's just such an awesome way to connect and share energy.
Yeah, 100%. You crank it in your car.
I full blast 2 subwoofers,
that's
Polk audio.
Your poor
Polk
dog. Hey,
audio.
with does your dog
Plasma
have,
windows are still in
does
there.
your dog have headphones? Because that poor oak's got it.
When the dog's in the car, I don't crank this up.
Okay, poor Chase. God bless him. Okay, what we got next?
cool. Okay, I'm gonna play this. This is a track that I got from my good friend Philip. We do Movida together.
Oh, sick. And when is Movida usually? What nights?
We don't have fixed nights. We try and keep it pretty random.
All right.
And We were doing a few events in the winter the last 2 years, but Cape Town is really dead in
I know.
winter, and honestly, even myself on a cold winter's night, I want to be by my fireplace
Exactly.
and like
Not in a smoky
chilling
club.
out. Yeah, so we're probably gonna do one in November again. So keep an eye on the Instagram page.
Movida_Movida. Now that people can hear us.
Yeah,
Shout.
Movida.
Movida_Movida. Check it out. Kurt
Yeah.
runs this dope
Yeah.
event there. Smoky. And they dance till 4 a.m. baby.
Yeah, all night, baby.
All night.
So this is like more, also kind of like a disco-y track, but more of a dreamy disco track.
Yeah.
And it's by Kenny Dope and P&P Records. Yeah, dance.
Yeah.
You flag Paul Joe.
Jerry Connie's got headphones in, bro. Talk in the mic if you want to talk to him.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think we need to.
Wait, bro. We playing till we flag.
There's a classic number I want Dave to
It's
play.
a Jerry favorite.
Okay, let's play a Jerry favorite. Come on.
It's definitely a Paul. This is also from the 80s, huh?
Yeah, this is.
And that Paul Joey track's from the 80s.
No, I think it's from the 90s. Yeah,
Late 80s, not early 90s.
yeah, early 90s.
There's some forgotten music there. Oh,
Yeah, 80s and 90s.
that's where you're from.
It's most of my music.
Oh, this is, yeah, there's a crowd setting surrounding and the actual place where you're hosting a gig is really important. If it's open air, it's different feel,
Yeah,
different equipment.
yeah, it's tough doing outdoor stuff because
See, like, say, this track being like quite an older track, it's been sampled by like house music DJs and producers just to take that beat and loop it and then do all sorts of things with it.
right.
But I mean, it comes from disco and,
Yeah. What is the original in this? I can't even make it out. Do you know?
It's Marta Acuna. It's pretty obscure.
Yeah. I can tell.
But I mean, it's also disco is so interesting that you can have a disco track at, this is 109 beats a minute, and you can have a disco track at 133 beats a minute, and it doesn't really sound particularly slow, particularly fast. It sounds cool.
Sounds like disco.
Sounds like disco.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you had to do that with any other kind of music, it'll be like, wow, this is so different. And I mean, it's
Right.
so interesting how a style of music can be taken over such a wide range of speed and
Of
like
tempo, yeah. So
and-
disco
and-
survives tempo changes, you're saying?
yeah, I mean, but also it's so difficult to mix. The mixes are not very. You don't have these long overlaps. You
Yes.
find a certain point
Right.
where either the hi-hats or
Right.
the beat is just in tune, and it's 3 or 4 seconds with
Sure.
it. And
Yeah, they didn't leave lingering outros for you, bro.
not at all, or intros for that.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of guys doing edits just to throw an intro or an outro
Right.
into a
So
track,
you
just so that you can mix it
So you
in.
just maybe loop the end or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But let's
Fading
keep.
on Paul, yeah. This is a
let's
track.
see. I'll just
This is a track.
yeah.
This is probably our number one favorite track. Two, three, four. 2, 3.
There we go, Jerry. You know the deal, the foundations, the building blocks.
I just need a car bulb. Man. And this is inspired from where?
This is like good old school house. Like I would say this is more like maybe like
Yeah.
It's power. Such a tune. It's a banger.
yeah, like this is more like a Chicago sound, I'd say. I mean,
I can see Jerry full main, full jib,
Yeah,
Just gone,
just
man.
sending.
Down a mine shop.
Yeah, going, bro. This is a 22 knot track.
22
This.
Yeah.
knots, just cranked up, bars lifting. There's a bar wave. And
Hiking
things are just
hard, bro.
proper.
It's drooling out the mouth, spitting, bro. It's lekker.
It's classic.
me and Jay have been bobbing our heads.
I mean, if you're feeling it, some people like, I don't know, get to the repetitive side and okay, but if you're just grounded, neutral, having fun, flowing,
I
it resonates, you know, if it
I love
resonates
it.
with you, it resonates.
But also, like I was explaining to Jerry, is like you can't, like, say as a DJ, you can't just like play. You start off and play
Put that
out
into
bangers.
someone, yeah.
It doesn't work that way. You know, you have to get people comfortable, in the mood to dance, and you know, maybe also at the same time they're still having maybe a chat with someone next to them, or you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and that's sort of a nice thing about like house music, is because there isn't a lot of vocals in it, you are making the vocals with the conversation you're having with the person next to you. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah,
and it
right.
gives you the opportunity not to be too in tune with the
Yes.
music, and connecting with people around you, and dancing together, and having a lach, and you know, having a good time.
Lekker. I think that's a great way to say it, because you actually add the vocals in the space that you allow them
Yeah.
to have in the beginning, instead of grabbing their attention from the word go, you know? I like it. Well done, bro. That's a lot of wisdom for a 38-year-old lighty.
You were calling Oaks Lighties when you were 38, so
Exactly.
where do you fall in right now?
I'm a lighty, bro. 48, Cody. Lighty.
I'm still 18, cousin.
Just going. Yeah.
There's still a little bit of piano in there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You got your instruments.
And then there's a little sneaky drop. It's coming.
Very cheeky.
Just like it makes you want to shake your bum a little bit.
That's all we want to do now and then. Just shake a bit of booty.
But it's so, like, so awesome. Like you won't hear this music anywhere. I mean, unless
Except at Movida_Movida. And if you follow Devin Isaacs, then maybe you will.
or in Chicago in some underground gig there.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just quality music. It's recorded properly.
And that's like an organ, you know, like
Yeah.
it's just like obscure.
I love it. Well, hey, oh, ah.
Is it too early to go? Oh my, it's too early. Can't go down that road yet.
Gooi, bro. Just feel free to play whatever you want, bro. Enough of my questioning and doing anything. This is
I think
your
you
time.
gotta go West County, man. You gotta go West County.
Uh-huh.
You have to.
Wayne Hill.
Wayne Hill County Cops. You gotta go there. And then you can go back to your airy fairy guitar. Thanks so much, Art. This is quality, man.
My brother, this is what homies do. We hang out, play music, bro.
Do you want this one?
Una momento.
Ah, you can gooi off the desk.
so I can pull off the desk
Ah!
Don't want to reach me. Okay, now I look like a proper DJ, bro. Yes, baby. Here we go. Detroit.
All right.
Or Salt River. This is timeless, man. Top quality.
Yeah, sending, Jay. Send it.
I'm gone, cuz.
Check at that cheeky face. Check Devin's cheeky face. Bro. Check that.
Respect to Omar.
Respect to Omar.
Not my granny.
Omar.
You say this is like classic Detroit house, Deb?
Yeah, like the house scene, like in most electronic dance music, is, you know, some dudes hanging out, like, you know, in Detroit and Chicago and New York, messing around with this drum machine that they bought at the second-hand store, and like they're looking for a way to produce music like in a cheap way, like in an inexpensive way, and started banging out beats, and then got got residencies in clubs like, you know, like the Factory and like, you know, all these clubs back in the day. Like, yeah, like dudes like, I don't know, Larry Levin, and just like, you know, they've just been at it for such a long time, and then other people have tapped into it along the way, and just yeah, I mean, techno comes from Detroit, man.
100%. If you don't feel some Detroit,
I must say, I'm
you don't
feeling
have
it,
love for techno.
So I say happened to my friend here from Laguna Beach, California. He doesn't know that he's a part of the podcast. We're doing a live podcast, brother, and you do part of it. Oh, you do know? Okay, lekker. Thanks, Mishi. California in the house, baby. Lekker. You too, bro. You can hang on the line, but it won't be too much talking. But stay on the feed, bro. Show us around your house.
Time is cheap.
Love you, my boy. Cheers. Jerry, feeling this, eh? Oh yeah. You guys can't hear the music too much on the Insta feed because we've got microphones and speakers. you guys want to listen to the stream, check in, log on to Facebook and YouTube. I'm still live. Having some fun. Hope you're having a good night.
Dave's getting serious here.
Oh, yeah. Dizzy. Dizzy.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. I need to do. Woo! Yeah. Yeah, see, now I want to go out. What time we open? We're on till 4, bro. Nice, very nice. Yes, baby. Yeah, baby.
What it is, y'all.
shit.
You know who it be. It be that one God made funky.
Lekker,
was
bro.
sweet,
That's
man.
so sweet.
So
bro.
sweet.
I can see
Now
what
that
Oaks want to
kicks
stay
the
for
song,
4.
too.
I want to. Yo's ongoing, bro. We lock,
Anyone that has ever
lock
been
the
hated
dungeon.
on.
Activate, release the
Anyone that's been
hounds.
judged. By
Bro,
the
that's
way they
fresh, bro.
look,
That's so good, bro. Thank
by
you,
the way
man.
they talk, by the way they
I do
act,
love that,
Quality,
man. That
by
is
the way
a
they
man.
walk.
that is definitely a skill that I would like to learn, bro.
You know,
I would dig that, bro. So maybe next time we do the actual learning through
those
the
who
actual
society
routing,
think
getting
are
it like.
different.
Yeah, no
But I
worries.
mean, and so what software? What software are you using at the moment? Is it? It's not
So-
control is quite a big one, eh?
Yeah, so the controller is a Pioneer controller.
Yeah.
And most controllers are made to work with certain software.
Yeah.
So this controller is made to work with Serato software, which is Pioneer like software.
Right,
Like
it's
Pioneer.
their-
So Pioneer produces two types of software. One is Serato and one is Recordbox.
Got you.
Right. So Serato is a little bit more geared toward producing more so than playing like a gig or out in a club. So it's more kind of like an all-rounder piece of equipment. So you can mix with it, but it's also got sample pads, you know, the same
Right.
kind of sample pads like on an MPC,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that you can program sounds and
And triggers,
stems
yeah.
and all sorts of things into samples. So it gives you that. I would say it's a nice tool. This specific one is a nice tool to sort of formulate a concept around how you want to produce, and then maybe go to like Logic or Ableton and then actually create, you know,
Right.
a proper,
Right.
you know. But
Do
this
the-
is
do
where the
the
creativity
mixing.
happens.
Got
right?
you. Sure. I've never
So-
heard of Serato, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, so it gives you a waveform display of what's
Yeah.
going on, and then there's a color indication also to the tone where high tones are on the blue end of the spectrum and bass tones are on the red end of the spectrum.
Okay,
So
got
you can sort of, by looking at the waveform, you can kind of see what's going on with the track.
Right.
And after using it after a while, you can connect the dots between what's happening in your ears and what you're seeing.
Yeah, got you.
So it's helpful in that regard, and then you've also got a summary of the waveform, like at the top
of
over
how
there,
much
so
you
you
got
can
left.
see where you are in the track.
Right,
Yeah.
got you.
But there's also some color indication there, which is also helpful in terms of establishing like the key,
Okay.
right? So you automatically know that the keys of the two tracks are aligned if their color spectrum is aligned.
see. Oh,
So if
wow.
they're the same sort of set of colors, you know that okay,
Whoa.
this is gonna work together because they're in the same key or
Oh,
similar
wow.
keys.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I didn't even know it
So-
was that advanced.
So so the other software that most people recognize and know is the CDJ driven software, which is Recordbox.
Okay.
Which is much more focused on sort of like quantizing tracks and making sure that they really
Sit.
chopped up
Yeah.
properly and the timing is, you know, and that's the main difference between this piece of kit and the CDJ is that a CDJ you've got a tempo range that is much wider than this. Like you've got much more range, and the range is just so on point and crystal clear. You're not losing, like, yeah, if I speed up or slow down, I lose density, I lose,
It wobbles. Yeah.
it wobbles,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it just, you know, it throws the sound off. So it's not a really good piece of kit for, say, like recording or even throwing off a massive sound system.
Yeah.
But you can do many things with it.
Yeah.
And
What would kind of your dream setup be if budget wasn't an issue?
have
you got your Rolls Royce?
Of course I
You
do.
must, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, for me, CDJ 900 or 1000 Mark II
Okay.
that plays FLAC files.
Right.
It doesn't have to, I mean, you get the CDJ 2000, and now they've even released 3000s.
Right.
That's got, I mean, you also still have a loop function with a 900. And those are the functions I use. I use the loop function, I use the tempo, and I don't use like a whole lot else,
Yeah.
because, I mean, why do you want to, I don't know.
You don't
I
want to
think
play too much, bro. I think between the
Yeah.
high pass filters and then it's just about It's
Exactly.
actually about the curation, which to me is everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because the more I've
100%.
realized that, with the more tricks you put into music, if the song's cuck, the song's cuck. It doesn't matter how you decorate. It's just a well-decorated cuck song.
Yeah, you can't polish it, man.
Exactly.
But you can remix it.
Is that what you're saying about my
You can
music?
bring it back, man.
Is that what you're saying about my
That's
music,
what I'm trying to
Jerry?
say. Don't take everything personally.
So yeah, so two CDJ 900 Nexus Mark II. Nexus means that you can link them, so you can
Yeah.
stick one USB in and it can play. You can play off that USB
got
on
you.
the other.
Gotcha.
So Nexus means that you can link them, and Mark II means that you can play FLAC files.
Oh, sick.
And then together with that, I would run two Technics SL1200s or 1210s, which is like the standard turntable, DJing turntable,
Right.
together with a rotary mixer.
Okay.
You know, like an analog rotary mixer.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, would you have one
Yeah.
or two of that? Or you just need one? Or?
No, you just need one.
Got you.
And then you just need 4
Is
channels.
that for like scratching and shit like that as well, if you want to, or not really?
No, it's just like the old analog way that it's set up, you know, especially like on your isolators and like, you know, the way that you have control, you know, over your tops, your mids and your bass is just like there's so much range. You know, there's just like crazy range, and you can be at that spot or that spot, and you can make a track sound completely different by utilizing, you know, those controls on the mixer.
Right.
And those for me are the most important controls. And in fact, you know, the most important control as a DJ is the volume button.
Right.
You know,
I'm sure.
like the volume knob.
Yeah.
Because, you know, during the course of a set, you have to take, you know, the audience to different places, and the easiest way to do that is by
Volume.
putting it softer or louder.
Right. Do you play with it quite a lot during sets?
Yeah, all the time,
And,
especially when the mix is a little bit challenging and you know it's going to sound a little bit ruffled or whatever, or when, you know, to be able to get a crowd to go completely bonkers, you need to start sort of in a softer space and slowly build that volume, and you can't keep it banging all of the
Yeah,
time.
of course.
You know, because
Yeah.
actually people also just get tired.
Yeah,
you know?
You get ear fatigue
Yeah,
and things
and
like
your
that.
ears hurt,
Just go to
and most
Yeah, ear gym.
most
Just speak a little.
parties and most events are playing music way too loud.
Yeah.
Like for me, like, you know,
Yeah.
if I'm at an event, my ears mustn't hurt. I must maybe feel the bass in my chest,
Yeah.
but I must still be able to have a conversation with someone next to me.
Right.
So
Smaller venue, cheaper speakers.
Wise words from Jerry. Brother, I'm gonna call it here because I think
Yeah.
it's been awesome. Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah,
I haven't
thanks
known
for
you long,
having
but I
us.
feel like brothers already, bro. I look forward to the next one. I'm definitely coming to Mavida and wherever else you play. Oaks, check out Devin Isaacs. I mean, what a champ of an Oak. You've had a little taste of his music. Thanks for the intro, Jerry. I appreciate it. Good to see you.
All
yeah,
good.
thanks,
Love you
Jerry,
long time,
for
man.
setting it up.
Good to see you. Good to see you back in the hood, and I wish you all the success always, brother, with whatever's going on. Condolences again about your pops for those who didn't hear because of the bad audio, but just big love and respect for you all round.
Much love and respect, Art, and thanks for taking us back into the cave.
Let's do it again.
The dungeon.
The
Drew,
dungeon.
we've got to do a send off song, eh? I mean, I'm not just going to end this. Just crank
Okay.
anything, and
Okay,
then
cool.
I'll try and see if I can do the old school fade into.
This is another Omar S track for my mate Jerry over here.
Okay, lekker. Jerry hates the Omar S. Everyone, good night. Be safe. Be cool. Thanks for tuning in. Spread it, share
Brazil,
it, like it,
Gabriela.
subscribe. Brazil. Oh my God, Jerry.
Brazil, baby.
Brazil. What a joy. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
We're going to play out with this. Okay, let me crank it.
Just crank it there, right? Crank it.
Cranking.
Don't be scared.
We're gonna end the show how we tried to start it with just us sitting bopping.
We're going to end and get flagged.
Yeah.
Can you crank it? Is this top volume?
do it, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna kill your mic so we can crank it in the room. Don't forget to go check him out at Mavita and just check out